Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Hope you're having a fantastic start to the week. It is Monday morning and it is time to kick off the week for Raid Shadow Legends. We have got some news to discuss, a bonus legendary event for Sacred Shards coming up, and then we've got obviously the fragment events for Supreme Elhain starting this week. So we're going to go over everything you need to know in the Raid game and community to get you the proper jump start heading into the week. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, the most important thing to take note of is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, March 7th. Plarium is going to be launching an extra legendary event from Sacred Shards. Now, the way this works is if you pull a legendary from a Sacred Shard, it's normal rates, it's not boosted or anything like that. It's going to be the normal 6% on Sacred Shards. But if you do get a legendary, you're guaranteed to get another legendary at the exact same time. That will not be a duplicate of the first legendary. It can still be a duplicate of a legendary you already have. Some people get confused by that when they say it can't be a duplicate, but you're guaranteed to get two different champions basically once you pull one legendary. And you can only proc this effect once. You can't pull like 50 sacreds or something and have this happen multiple times. So once you complete the event by getting a bonus legendary one time, it is going to be over and done with. And I do want to pull this up and talk about it for a second. Now, I did a video a little bit ago talking about how 2x's are not technically 2x's. And I want to talk about the odds around Sacred Shards right here. So you can see that the Mercy starts at 12 for Sacred Shards. And then this number right here, this 50.63, if I can click on it, right there. This 50.63, that's the odds of no legendary up to the shard when you're pulling outside of a 2x. The left kind of columns here on these left columns are outside of 2x. So basically you're 50-50 to make it into Mercy and get to that 13th shard, and then after that it will start ramping up, but you're still like 25% to make it all the way to 18 shards with no legendary. So this becomes important to really take note of because we are thinking that this weekend is going to be 2x sacreds. So you really got to weigh your options here on what is going to be best for you. And this weekend's 2x sacreds, there's probably going to be something coinciding with the fragments around the Supreme Elhain. So one of the times that you're really going to need to be careful before YOLOing sacreds, if you've only got 5 or 6 sacreds on your account, you don't want to blast through them for this bonus legendary event and then have no bullets in the chamber for the fragment event this weekend coming along, whatever it is, champion chase, summon rush, whatever, for Supreme Elhain. If we do find out her multipliers and she ends up being a good champion and you YOLO'd all your sacreds on Tuesday for the bonus legendary event, and then this weekend gets a little bit wonky for you, you're gonna have to really be careful and ask yourself if this event makes sense for you, or if you're better off to hold until this weekend, until we see some of the Supreme Elhain stuff live in game. Because on top of that, if we pull up the guaranteed summon event champions, it's been a long time since we've had a sacred guarantee, all the way back in November of 2022, which is coming up on what, 4 months at this point? December, January, February, and we're heading into March. So pretty close to 4 months since we've had a guaranteed Sacred Shard event. So I'm expecting, I know I say this in every video and you guys make fun of me, but at some point on these next two, we're probably, or at least 2 out of the next 3, we're going to be getting one for Ancients and one for Sacreds. So you want to make sure and stay within striking distance of 15 or 20 Sacreds if they end up doing a guaranteed summon event. And we have the stuff coming up for Supreme Elhain, so it's very clear and obvious that Plarium is really trying to get to bleed people of their Sacred Shards and really get some of those endgame players that are hitting both of the Ultra and the Nightmare Demon Lords every day. They're really trying to bleed down those Sacreds to try to give them value again in game and in the shop. So just make sure you're being cognizant of all this stuff and being careful with how you manage your account. And speaking of Supreme Elhain and the events coming this weekend, we don't know yet what's going to be happening. We'll probably, for whatever reason, they don't like to show us at all. We'll probably get like a fragment event calendar on Thursday or Friday. They won't give us very much heads up. Obviously, I'll keep you in the loop here on the channel and let you know exactly all the context with what's going on. But we don't see her in game yet, and we can't really get a look at all of like the base stats and the multipliers. We didn't get a test server. Plarium's really keeping this one close to the vest for some reason. One reason could be that this one's going to be a void legendary, and they really never do void legendaries as far as fragments and stuff like that. It's like Tormund and Vlad, and I think there's one more. Let's just pull up the fusions and fragments tier list. But yeah, it's Tormund, and we also had Vlad. Oh, and Sir Nick right here. I believe they've only done 3 void legendaries, and right now they're gonna be doing Supreme Elhain. We've got her placed right here so far on the fusions and fragments tier list. Obviously, subject to change. Don't take that to the bank. We need to see her base stats and multipliers, and then we're either going to be adjusting her over here a little bit, or she could slide all the way down here once we kind of see how she's going to shake out with the stats and multipliers. But got her placed kind of right there for now. But yeah, that could be why they're playing it so close to the vest, is because we really never see void legendaries featured in these fragments and fusions. So yeah, we're going to have to kind of wait and see until the stuff is live in game, unfortunately. And also for fun, last night I was playing around with some of the AI software type stuff, and I was able to generate this here of the Supreme Elhain for something to use in like thumbnails and infographics and stuff, and I thought it came out pretty well. So got me a high-res version of the new Supreme Elhain champion right there for fun if you wanted to see that. Then transitioning to some of the stuff happening in game to make sure you get your week started off properly. The clan quests are going to be something you want to really focus on today because they are resetting at the end of the day. Make sure you get your arena tier in order, as obviously that resets every Sunday night. Also, only a couple more days to get your, or like a day and a half or so to get your Hydra keys in. And we won't be getting a CVC for a couple weeks yet because remember, they skipped one. So it's going to be a little bit of time yet to prepare for the next CVC. As far as the tournaments and events are concerned, really nothing too crazy. The Ice Golem tournament does have a Void Shard up for grabs. So any of your extra energy I would probably put towards getting that Void Shard. And then a Fire Night tournament going to be starting tomorrow as well. Under the events tab, the Fusion warm-up is something you definitely want to do every day. A pretty good way to scoop up some cheap-ish resources. And these fusion warm-ups are always structured a little bit different, but in this one, you're going to want to every day pull 20 mystery shards because they are worth 1 point apiece and your daily limit is 20. So that is something you definitely want to focus on here for the next couple of days, is just try to remember to pull 20 mystery shards a day and scoop up some bonus resources here as we head into the end of the week when the fragment events for Supreme Elhain will be starting. And there is also a champion training event going on right now with a legendary book all the way up at 12,000. So, worth noting, but be careful, like I said, because we've got a lot of things happening this week and things are going to get a little bit crazy and ramp up a little bit at the end of the week. Then for offers, is there anything worth plugging in and going over? Unfortunately, not really. It doesn't look like there's anything worth kind of pulling up the calculator and having a deep dive discussion on. Hopefully, as we move in towards the end of the week, we'll get a little bit better choices here on some offers that would be fun to talk about. And there is also a new batch of weekly challenges in the Forge Pass to take note of. And I think the craziest ones are probably going to be like win 50 campaign battles using 4 champions of the same faction. So be careful there and make sure you're kind of lining things up with your campaign farmer to get those 50 battles done. And other than that, they're pretty self-explanatory. You got to do like some dungeon bosses. You'll do that in your normal kind of grinding. And then also like the accessories and 10 champions to a higher rank and 40 arena battles. Most of the stuff is pretty self-explanatory and will kind of get passively done if you're playing the game actively. But do take note of the campaign battle one with 4 champions of the same faction. So there it is. Remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content, and if you decide to go crazy and YOLO during the bonus legendary event for Sacreds, good luck. But like I said, I want to drive this point home. be careful because we have a lot of stuff coming up for Sacreds this weekend and also possibly in the future with guaranteed champions and stuff like that. So let me know down below if you're going to be pulling shards. I'll also host a poll over on the community tab of this channel where we link to this video and this discussion because I want to know where your head is at as all of the viewers out there. Do you feel like it's going to be worth it to pull? Are you waiting? And kind of how you're managing your account as well. I like to keep the context of the community in the discussion as well. So that'll do it for me on this one. As always, thanks for watching. Have a great start to your week. I will see you soon in the next video. Peace.